And here I am with Pink Lady Catering. We've got Corey Martin joining us at the Cook Station. And you're kicking off this whole series cooking segment.
I am,
for the Cook
time.
Station. I have to say right off the top, we are working with some phenomenal equipment. This DCS, if you've ever thought, you know, those pro stoves are just out of my reach, these guys are going for probably mid-grade or so price, so it is within reach. You just got to get to the right place. Cook Station. We're going to do butternut squash apple soup, and we're going to start with sautéing some onions. Is that what we'll do?
We're going to saute some onions.
Go ahead and get them in there.
And we're going to heat our pan up.
Look at there. So we've got the gas going now.
Yep.
And you just want these in here?
We're going to do a little bit of olive oil in there first and a little bit of butter together. Get
By
that
the way,
going.
these recipes will be on our website, so make sure that was very nice of you to share them, by the way.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Always.
Now you're mixing olive oil and butter.
We are mixing it just for a little bit of flavor. This is a creamy soup, so it gives it a little extra body.
All right.
We're going to heat that up a little bit.
We'll go ahead with that.
Okay.
And then we want these to be clear in color?
We do. We want them to be translucent in color, and also this is a little bit of sweating involved with them, so they call it sweating
That's
the
when the
onions.
sugars come
yes.
out.
They're going to
really
get them
good.
nice and soft and get all the flavors going.
So as we reduce this down and get the sweating, as you referred to it, done, what's our next step with this soup?
Actually, this is a very simple soup. Basically, what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and sweat out the onions. You add in the flavoring, which would be the curry at this point. You can add in curry, or you can also add in anything else that you might like.
There are a million different types of curry. This looks
Yes.
like just a yellow curry
It's just
powder.
a brown, mild curry.
Okay.
The mild curry is better to use in this kind of a recipe because of the apples, and you don't want it to be overpoweringly strong in a butternut squash soup. You want to taste the butternut squash, and you want to taste the apples. So just a mild curry powder is the best.
All right. Okay, Corey, so these have, first of all, they smell delicious now.
They do.
And we get to add the ingredients. So we'll start with the curry.
Add the curry in.
All right.
And this is just going to heat up the curry and get the flavors going.
What do you need next, Corey?
We are going to go ahead and add in our apples. And we're going to let that kind of saute in there with the juices from the apple juice. We have apple cider in there.
Oh.
Let's go ahead and pour all that in together.
All right.
And now this is going to get nice and soft and tender.
Okay, so again, we'll let this cook down and to a softer state, much like we did the onions.
Exactly. Where you can actually push the spoon through them and they're soft enough because we are going to be blending these.
Okay. Now this is butternut squash, which has been steamed. Am I right, Corey?
Correct.
Corey with Pink
Steamed,
Lady.
easy.
All right, and we're going to add this.
Add that to our apples and onions and our curry. And then we're adding some chicken stock.
Right here?
Yep. If you go ahead and add in about maybe 2 cups, 3 cups, just until it looks like it's getting good and loosen up here. And you can see, since we've already steamed the butternut squash, we're already like 3 or 4 steps ahead.
All right.
You can add the butternut squash in raw, but it takes longer to cook. So I suggest steaming it first and cutting out all that extra time.
I think that's smart.
Okay, that's good. So you can stop right there. And now we're just going to let this get nice and hot, and then we're going to take the immersion blender to it and blend it and puree it.
It's a tool you're all going to want.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. The Cook Station carries this Breville brand, which is great. This is an immersion blender?
It's an immersion blender, and it's wonderful for many uses. You can use it for smoothies, making pureed soups. I mean, it has 100 different uses.
Let's see how it does the soup.
Okay. You're just going to go, and you want to make sure it's under the liquid so you don't splash it back up on yourself. It would be very
with
safe.
hot soup, that would be
very
bad.
safe, but you can see it's just instantly turning this into a pureed soup. And this is good for a vichyssoise, a potato leek soup. I mean, you could make any kind of cold soup, strawberry soups, and even like a cucumber soup.
Right.
Yeah, it's wonderful. It has so many amazing uses.
It's really easy soup,
Very easy.
but fabulous flavors. I'm already smelling. This is
Apple cider, fresh apple cider, and you're just going to add in enough to sweeten it up a little bit.
all right.
And that's going to do it. And then you have some creme fraiche there, which is low in fat, but makes it creamy. You can add in that whole thing. You can add as much as you like, but I put it all in.
The whole thing.
The whole thing.
Everything's better with creme fraiche.
Yeah, absolutely. And then we're just going to go ahead and turn this back on and blend this up.
And you guys want to see the finished product, right? I know, I want to taste the finished
Oh,
product.
yes, for sure.
I tell you, this soup just, it smells so good, and it was not hard to make.
Easy. The immersion blender is key.
because it's just smooth as silk.
It's smooth, yeah.
It is absolutely delicious. But as smooth as it is, the flavor is just, man,
Yeah.
they are right there. And of course, you can serve it with toast points or
Correct.
Maybe some creme fraiche.
Creme fraiche is always great on it. It's delicious. You can even use sour cream.
We are at the cook station, and so we met up with Kelly, who runs the cook station. And I tell you what, thank you for having us over.
Thanks for coming. I love to get to eat.
I have an idea. We'll have to invite the viewers sometime.
I think that would be so
Wouldn't that be
much
fun?
fun.
That would be
Thank you
fun.
for the soup, by the way. This is butternut squash and apple.
Yes.
Phenomenal. Creme fraiche on the top. We love the soup. We love the soup. So we're going to stick around and enjoy the soup. You guys can actually get the recipe for the soup at yourcarolina.tv. And we'll be back to cook at the cook station.